Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gabriel, and today we're doing another twin flame energy reading. This reading is meant to be timeless, so no matter when you find it, no matter where you're at on your journey, when you find it, there is a message for you here. Today we're going to be pulling from Angels of Abundance Oracle cards by Doreen and Grant Virtue. And I've already shuffled, so we're going to go ahead and dive in. The first card is Partnership. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life, career. Both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. And the first thing that popped up for me when I pulled this is partnership with your twin flame. That is one of the reasons why you're meant to be with your twin flame, is you're meant to partner together in life purpose. And maybe you're not together right now and you're thinking, well, how can that happen if we're not physically together? But you're one, so you're always together. You're always moving forward and partnering at your core. But you also not only partner in life purpose, but you also partner in doing the inner healing work. Even if it looks like your twin flame's just out there partying and doing anything that he or she or they will please, you know, they are always doing the same inner work that you are at the exact same time. It doesn't have to look the same, but they're going through similar blocks. You partner together in every aspect at all times. So, instead of seeing them as separate from you, which is part of the reason why you experience separation, is you see your twin flames as separate from you. See them as going through the blocks that you are in their own way. Maybe their way of moving through the challenge that you're being shown is by having a lot of contrast. And just an example of that is maybe it helps you to do the mirror exercise, to move through blocks of codependency or, looking outside of yourself for love. And for your twin flame, they mirror that by being with someone who isn't you, who they experience a lot of contrast with. On the outside, it may look like, oh, they're happy, they post on social media. But we all know that, there are times when you post on social media just a very sliver of your life, right? You don't post everything, you curate that, right? You don't show the moments that you feel unhappy and you post that on Instagram and you're like, yeah, I'm really unhappy with my relationship right now. Like, maybe someone does that, but most of the time people don't broadcast their every feeling on Instagram. And, they may even not be consciously aware of the unhappiness, but at their core, they understand that something's just not quite right with this relationship. And that doesn't mean you go shove it in their face, right? You trust that they are working through their own blocks, their own healing in the same way you are. You're working through your healing and you're doing it in a way that resonates with you, and they're doing it in a way that is compassionate for where they're at right now. Sometimes contrast is the most compassionate way to learn if you're not doing active inner healing work. So recognize that you're always partnering with your twin flame, and don't let that be a thing, the thing that keeps you from seeing yourselves as one. You are moving through things together at all times. All right, the next card is Pay Yourself First. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. And this is true not just for finances, but for your energy as well. You cannot give to another. You cannot truly love another. You cannot provide anything for another person unless you are loving yourself first. You have to fill your cup up so that you feel good, and then you're able to pour from that cup. You're able to overflow from that cup and provide to someone else. You can't give from an empty well. You can't even really give if you're only half full, right? Because you'll start giving and you'll run out, you'll burn out. And that's how people build up resentment for people and things and life even, because you're constantly feeling taken from, because you're taking from yourself. You're taking from providing yourself the care that you need before you give to others. So you're constantly in this state of, feeling resentful for people, and that's not actually giving to them, because energetically people can feel when you're giving from a place of resentment. They can, even if they don't recognize it consciously. We're all very sensitive, divine, energetic beings at our core, and even if we're numbed out, on some level you're gonna pick up on somebody's like taking from me, right? Or someone's like not giving from a genuine place, and you can't really give if you're depleting yourself. If you're taking from yourself, that feels bad. So don't see it as selfish. It's actually very necessary to be able to give in great quantities, to give to yourself first. So take care of yourself, give to yourself first, love yourself up, set aside time for self-care, finances for self-care, invest in yourself, and then you'll be able to give more to others. All right, the next card is obstacles and blocks are lifted. All of your good personal work and your positive energy shifts have overcome previous obstacles, and blocks are lifted away. You will now experience progress and forward movement with your projects. Stay centered and in gratitude to ensure that your flow of abundance continues. Yeah, and really what I feel from this is just, this is how you make progress on your journey, is to clear your blocks and obstacles. You have to move through it. You can't avoid it. You can't go around it. You have to move through it, and it will be cleared. And, God does support you through this. Miracles do happen to help you progress further. A Course in Miracles talks about this, is, miracles are someone who temporarily has more giving to, to giving to someone who temporarily has less, right? And I'm not saying that verbatim, but it's really like, it's just a way to help someone progress beyond what they were otherwise capable of in that moment. Miracles do happen like that to help you, move through a big block at an accelerated pace. That's why people go through false twin flame experiences, in order to really accelerate their healing by experiencing extreme contrast, and it helps you, move through these things faster. But you still have to do the inner work. You still have to move through all of your feelings, all the upset beliefs and misaligned beliefs, upset feelings, and allow them to release and fill those spaces that you were holding on to, these bad negative thoughts or feelings, with love. And once you've done that, once you've healed the blocks at the core, you're able to make progress. You're able to see your life change. Your dreams manifest, your twin flame comes near you. It's really not just, it's not something that is blocking your path to stop you dead on. It's something to help you grow and then take the next step forward. All right. The next card is block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics, avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power and responsibility to block them out. Yeah, along your journey, you're always going to be tested. Is this what you really want? Is this what you really want? God will ask you over and over and over again, is this really what you want? And a lot of times, like, especially if we're encountering a block that maybe isn't so fun to look at, maybe it's one of those core blocks that we're afraid to look at, it can be easy to fall into a distraction mode. Maybe you're doom scrolling on your phone, or maybe you're like, I'll get to that later, I'm gonna go do all these other things, and you avoid the very thing that you need to do. It's like needing to do the dishes, but you're like, no, I want to go over here and do this thing, and no, I want to watch this show first. And there's always like, you just get kick the can down the road and the dishes don't get done, right? But the very thing that you're avoiding is usually the place that you need to go the most. And so don't allow distractions, don't allow ego to pull you in these different directions and take you away from your dreams. If you want to be with your twin flame, you need to commit to yourself, commit to your journey. And that doesn't mean like you have to get rid of everything that brings you joy. No, you still can live your life and find joy, but you want to have the discipline to commit to your journey in the way that God is calling you, and commit to your healing in the way that you're called. Like you'll know when something isn't really where you're supposed to be because it'll feel bad. Like doom scrolling, if you're present, if you bring your awareness into that space, you can be aware that it feels bad that you're in that space. And then you can make a new choice there of like, no, this is not what I need to be doing. And really feel into where is the good feeling leading me right now, and change the activity. So allow yourself to follow the good feeling rather than numb out and go follow distractions. And the bottom of the deck is God is your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. Yeah, and like immediately what comes up, and of course, like God is your source in all areas, but what immediately came up was a lot of people as they're moving forward on their journey, you know, a lot of people experience trying to make their twin flame their source of love, especially when you're on the journey for the first time, or you've just met your twin flame, or your twin flame person. The tendency is to look outside of yourself, and that's why a lot of people experience the runner chaser dynamic, is because you're trying to look outside of yourself for love. You're trying to make your twin flame your source. And I've done this too. Is like, you're like, oh, I have to get my love from outside of me. I have to get my love from this person. And really, no, like your love comes from within first. And that's that connection with God. That connection with source, that connection with love itself. You have to fill those spaces with love, because even if your twin flame loves you, they can't fill and satisfy that well for you. They cannot fill that, and they won't. They can only mirror what you've given yourself. And if you're, if you haven't filled that well with the love that God has made available to you, that's always available to you, then your twin flame's like, nah, you're not going to drain me, so they will run away. That's how you experience them running away. But what they're really doing is showing you where you're running away from your own love. You're like, no, I reject my own love. I need to go get my love from my twin flame, who is me. And so they're going to reject your love, right? Because you're doing the same thing. So go to God first. God is always within. And if God doesn't resonate with you, again, it's love, it's source, it's that divine love energy that you give yourself, that you are able to connect to and resonate with, because you are one with that energy. But you have to give it to yourself. You have to allow yourself to be loved by the divine in order to receive, all the love that's available to you. Like, you're the only one blocking it, and it's not because maybe that you're doing it on purpose. No one blocks their love on purpose. It's just because we've all had hurts and misalignments, and we believe things about love that aren't true, and that prevents us from experiencing the love that's there for us. So the more we can have love and compassion for ourselves, the more we can experience that love with our twin flame. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. If you'd like your own card reading to understand the blocks that you have in your union, or if you'd like one-on-one support to move through those blocks, you can find my services at sacredtwinflameunion.com, and I will see you all in the next video.